Dear all, we are going to study about the concept heuristic optimization, which is used in database management system in order to find the efficient query optimization plan for executing a query. So we know that most of the time we are doing the operation select or retrieve the data from the database than compared to insertion, deletion and updation. So in those cases, if we have better execution plans for retrieval the data from the database, then it will help to reduce the time to retrieve the value. So most of the high level programming languages have different levels of compilation or parsing of query before parsing of programming statement before executing the final. Like that high level programming languages, query language also while executing a particular query, it first passes through different phases of execution. First level, as you can see, it is scanning, parsing and validating. So in the phase of scanning, we are identifying the keywords present in a particular query. So if we take an example of a select query, we know that there are different keywords present in that query: select, from, where, then different relation name, different attributes name, etc. So first phase is to identify these types of keywords in a query. Next, after the successful finding of the keywords, and if there any error occur in trying to find the keyword, it will stop the execution. So if everything goes fine, the system will move to the parsing state, and the parsing procedure, it will identify whether the given SQL query is formulated based on a syntax rule. So we know that in writing a particular query, is when it is insert, update or select, there is a format for those query. Take an example in the case of select. In the case of select, we know that first we need to write the select clause, then the from clause, then the where clause and etc. So if any misorder happened in the query, then it must be announced. For that we are using the parser. Next we are using the validator. So validator's job is to identify whether the given attribute and the relation name in the SQL query is valid. It have to cross check the relation name and the attribute name with the relation name and the attributes in the database. And after these three steps, that is the scanning, parsing and validating, we are getting a tree known as query tree. So it is actually the canonical tree. It is actually an inefficient execution plan that will yield after this procedure. So in order for making that execution plan efficient, we are doing certain optimization. So for that we have to pass the resultant process after the scanning, parsing and validating to the query optimizer. So query optimizer will do some optimization process, we will look into it. Then after that we have to execute that procedure. So the query code generator will generate the code on basis of that efficient query plan, and then it will run on the database processor, and the result of the query will get after this operation. So here we can say after the initial tree operation, we are getting a tree known as query tree or canonical tree. And there are also some DBMS data structures which create query graph after the three phases. So we have to do optimization on query graph, but in this case we are going to study how we are doing it on query tree. So here we are using heuristics in query optimization. So mainly why we are saying is heuristics optimization, because it is actually there is no theoretical study behind this heuristic optimization. It is actually yield from experience of different database. So what are the steps to be used for making a efficient query plan? So because there is no theoretical proof or theoretical study behind that 4 steps that we will going to see, there may be a chance that the created query can have another query which is more efficient than this. So the theory is not saying the created execution plan is optimal. There may be a chance that there will be a possible good tree or good execution plan which can execute the query more efficient than the created execution query. So that is why it is known as heuristic optimization. So the scan and parser of the query tree first generate a data structure that corresponds to initial query representation, which is then optimized according to the heuristics rule. This leads to the optimized query representation, which corresponds to the query execution strategy. And as I said, heuristic optimization generate a tree which cannot be or may not be set as a efficient query plan. There may be some tree which you can get more efficient query execution procedure. So here are the things we find, or these are rules that we found from the experience, that one of the main heuristic rule is to apply select and project operation before applying the join operation. So suppose while doing the query execution, if you done this join operation and after that you are doing the select and project operation of the relation algebra, there may be a chance that we are doing the join operation on unwanted tuples as well as unwanted columns. So firstly, it says that from the experience it found that firstly you have to do remove the unwanted tuples and unwanted rows from the table, then you have to join those tables, because otherwise these unwanted tuples and unwanted columns are used for joining. It will create a big table, or thus we need to use a more storage space for storing those tables. So the procedure is that we have to do select and project before the join operation. So this is the heuristic rule. There is no theory behind that. So okay, so nobody proved that you have to execute select and project before join. Some case it is become worse. First you have to do the join, then select and project. Okay, so there are some cases that will be more efficient, but most of the 90%, because of this they found through the experience, select and project should be applied before applying the join operation. Okay. So next is query tree and query graph. We can see some examples of a query tree and query graph. Query graph is a tree data structure that corresponds to relation algebra expression. It represents the input relation of the query as the leaf nodes of the tree. So after drawing the query tree, we will find that the leaf contains the relation name. And execution of the query tree consists of executing an internal node operation. So the internal nodes of the query tree are which represent different operations of the relation algebra, like select, project, and mainly join, cross. Okay, so these type of operations are represented in as the internal nodes of the query tree as well as the root node. So the leaf nodes are created with the relation name, then all other nodes are actually the relational algebra operations. Next we need to understand is that the order of execution. So if you have given with a query tree, we need to execute it from the leaf. So from the leaf we are starting to execute. The leaf contains the relation name, and the next step will come as the higher level of the leaf. Then the following steps will be the next step to be executed, and thus we will reach the root, and root will be the last execution operation. So you always execute from leaf to the root. So the order of execution of an operation starts at the leaf node, which represents the input database relation of the query, and end at the root node. And the execution terminates when root node operation is executed and produce the result. So on getting an question like this, for every project located in Stanford, retrieve the project number, the control department number, and the department manager's last name, address, and birth date. So In exams you will given with database and its attribute, and you will asked to write the query for like this. For every project located in Stanford, you have to retrieve the department manager, last name, address and birth date. So you will be given with the schema and you have to write the query first. And after write the query, here you can see the query, select P number, department number, name, address, etc. There is a where from clause and the where clause. So after writing the query, then you have to write the relational algebra operation. So you have to convert this query as the relational algebra expression. So this both are represent the same operation. First is represented using the relational algebra and other one is represented using the SQL query. So on getting a question for creating the heuristic optimization, you will be given with a question like this. Then first you have to write the SQL query, then you have to convert it into the relational algebra. You know that how you can convert. These are the values should be come in the project operation. So here you can see project, P number, P department number, L name, address and birth date. And from where you have to identify the selection state condition as well as the joining condition. Here this is the joining condition, this also becomes the joining condition, but this is the selection condition to be applied on P. So assume the P is considered as the project. So P is considered as the project. So project, then sigma P location is equal to Stafford. Then you have to join those tables P and D. So P and D should be joined and with the join condition, and after that you have to join it with the employee. It is the joining condition. So firstly you have to write the SQL query, then you have to convert into the relation algebra. Heuristic optimization of the query tree. In general, many different relational algebra expression, and hence there can be different relational algebra execution plan. So we know that we can write different relational algebraic expression for the same question. As like that we can create different query tree for the same question. So a query parser will typically generate a standard initial query tree to correspond to SQL query without doing any optimization, and is an inefficient if we execute it directly. The heuristic query optimizer will transform this initial query tree into an equivalent final query tree that is efficient to execute. So here we can see an example of the query tree. This is a given example. We can convert this SQL query as the query tree. So in this figure you can see three different subfigures A, B and C. The first figure A is actually the tree after the heuristic optimization, and we will study it in later in this class. And the second figure B, it is actually the initial query tree which is created on this SQL query. So here you can see we represented all the tables as the leaf node. Then internal operation, we know that we joined project department or P, D and E. So here we can see P, D, E become the leaf node, and in the higher level we crossed P and D. Then in the next higher level we cross the resultant value with E. Then we done the select condition. Here you can see the select condition is given, and it will be the next higher level. You have to do the select operation, and the selection condition will be given. Also it contains the joining condition, and after doing that operation we have to do the project operation. So project contain the required attributes. So the execution starts always from the leaf node. From the leaf node, first we are saying that we have to cross P and D. It will result in a big table which contain both P as well as D. On that table we will cross E, so it will create another big table which contain all the attributes of P, D and E. So it is actually a big file, okay, so which consists of all the tuples of P, D and E on which is in join format, and all the rows. Then we will do selection condition, that is we are trying to remove the unwanted tuples based on the condition D number equal to D number MGR equal to SSN location is equal to Stanford. So we are trying to remove the unwanted or invalid tuples. So after this selection statement, we have a joint table which consists of the attributes of P, D and E, but we removed the invalid tuples. Next, in the select query, we can see that we require only 4 attributes. So there may be a chance that P, D, E contain many other attributes which are not required in the query. So we have to do the project operation P number, D number, E number and address. So the execution starts from the leaf level, and after doing this all operation and the root operation, we will get the actual result. So next we can do how we can create a query and a heuristic optimized query tree. So we can take this example. We are following 4-5 steps for creating this query. The first step is actually creating the initial query from the given SQL query. So if this is not mandatory to create a relation algebra, we can directly create the initial query tree from the SQL statement. But in the examination, you have to write the relational algebra expression of the SQL query. So for getting mark, so find the last name of the employee born after 1957 who work on a project named Accuracy. So you will be given with the database schema, and from you can understand that what all are the attributes of different tables and what all are the different tables and attributes. So here you are writing the last name of the employee born after 1957. So this will be the query you can find from the given database schema. So select L name from employee works on project where P name equal to Accuracy, P number equal to P number, ESSN equal to SSN, birth date is greater than 1957, 12, 31. So if you refer the textbook, you can see this schema of this particular query. So first you have to draw the initial canonical query tree of this SQL query. So for that, the step is you have to first draw the initial leaf node. So the leaf nodes are employee, works on, as well as the project. So then we have to cross. We know that we need to cross employee works on and project. So employee works on are crossed, then on that result we cross the project table. Next we need to apply the selection condition. So in the next higher level, you have to write the next selection condition: P name equal to Accuracy and P number equal to P number, ESSN equal to SSN, and birth date is equal to 1957, etc. And on the next higher level, you have to write the project. So in the selection statement as well as in our question, we can see that we require only the last name. So you have to write the L name in the selection clause. So this way we will create the. So after drawing this initial query tree, we can move to the next step. In the next step, you will do moving the select operation down the query tree. So in the previous tree, you can find the selection statement is given on the second level of the tree. The first level is the project operation. So but we can see that the select P name equal to Accuracy can be done. It's actually project name is equal to Accuracy. So it can be done after doing on the project table. So we won't need to wait until this second level to execute P name is equal to Accuracy. You have to move that operation near to the project table. So here we moved the operation P name is equal to Accuracy near to the project table. So here we know that if you done like this, the project table contain tuples in which P name can be another value than Accuracy. Okay, so we don't need to join those invalid attributes in this joining condition. Here we are trying to join project with the left subtree. Okay, so So firstly we need to remove the unwanted tuples or invalid tuples from the project. We require only the tuples whose p name is equal to across. So that way we can reduce the join operations in this phase. So for that we are moving this selection statement more close to the project, as well as we can see that this employee name and works on joining condition as well as the under joining conditions can be moved to the corresponding join operations. So here we can see that we need to join ESSN and SSN can be done here, and also P number and P equal to P number can be done at the join operation. So we don't need to wait until the second level for doing this join condition. So next, apply the more restrictive select operation first. So it's actually the reordering of our table. So in the previous table we can see that we are firstly join employee and works on, but we know that the question is finding the name of all employees who works on certain project, and the project name is Across. So we can find from the schema that you have to cross check with the textbook. You can find from the schema that in order to get the details of employee which all employees are working in project Accuras, we require the project table and works on table first. So from those table you can find which all employees are working in the project Accuras, and you are maybe getting the employee IDs, and from that employee ID you need to take the last name of that particular employee. So here the operation is done in a verse format. We are joining employee and works on. Okay, so the entire employees, the employees who are not working in Across also joined with works on. So in order for doing like that process, we are doing like this. We firstly move the project and works on to the leftmost end. That means firstly we have to do the project and works on join condition, then you will yield what all are the SSN in works on and project. Then we only need to do, but the SSN values depend on the Accura. Only you will get the SSN. Here you are doing Accura. So on joining, at the time of joining, the SSN, the ESSN belongs to the employees who works only Accuris. Okay, so that will be joined with the employee table. Understood? So we are not joining with the invalid table or unwanted tuples. Okay, invalid tuples or unwanted tuples are not used in this joining operation. This is done by reordering the tables in the leaf level. Then next level is easy. You have to replace the Cartesian product and select with the join operation. So as you studied in relational algebra, join operation is actually the combination of Cartesian as well as the select, so as well as the cross. Okay, so here you can see we are doing the cross and then we are doing the select. So this can be replaced using a join, and here also we are doing the cross and then the select, so we can replace it with the join operation. So we done like this, we replace the cross and select with the join operation. And the last step is moving the project operation down the query tree. So in the previous chain we can see that there are a lot of attributes available in project, works on and employee, but we are only projecting the L name. Okay, so at the final result we require only the last name. We don't need the address of the employee, we don't need any ID of the employee. We are not using other attributes of the employee. We only require L name. Okay, and one more condition is there. One more condition is that birth date is greater than 1957. So we need to use the attribute birth date, which is which is greater than 1957 to getting the val tuple. So the birth date is also coming from the employee table. So here we need to do like that. So from the employee table, we firstly do the birth date, that is sigma birth date is greater than 1957, and we require only SSN and LNAME. That is, LNAME is required in the selection statement. Select LNAME. And SSN is required in the where condition. In the where condition, you require SSN where ESSN is equal to SSN. So you need the attribute SSN from the employee. So firstly, we from the employee table we will remove the unwanted tuples using the condition birth date is greater than 1957, and then we remove the unwanted columns or unwanted attributes, or we are selecting only the required attributes pi name, pi SSN, LNAME. So this SSN and LNAME are required in the higher level of this tree. Okay, the SSN is required in this joining operation and LNAME is required in the final project operation. Next, we can take the work zone table. In work zone table may also contain more than 2 attributes, but here we only require SSN and project number. So we can see that ESSN and project number are used into the higher levels of this query tree. Here for joining this condition, for joining operation we require the project number, and for join condition we require the ESSN. And from the project table we will firstly do removing the unwanted tuple based on the given query. Is condition is there, we require only the project name Acura. So we done the project selection statement there, or we are removing the unwanted tuples firstly. Then we find that we require only project number in the higher levels, because the project number is used for this joining condition. No other attributes are used in the higher levels of this tree. So we need to remove the unwanted columns, or we need only the wanted column P number. So we have to do project P number here. So this way we will represent, or we will move down the project statement more close to the relation table. So we have to move the select as well as the project operation before the join operation. Okay, and here also you can see after doing this join operation we won't require what, P number and here P number, both are here. So at this point we know that we have 3 attributes, P number, ESSN and PNO. These are available here. So in order for removing those attributes, we can apply a project ESSN here, because P number and PNO is not required from this point. So we require only ESSN. For getting this join operation you require ESSN. And after doing this operation we can see that we only require the last operation, we only require LNAME. So we have to do project LNAME. So this way we are doing the heuristic optimization. This way will be 100% question for your university examination. So you have to study how to do this operation. You have to follow the order of these steps, then you can easily do this. So we are mostly close to the last topics of these modules. So these are general rules we can use for doing this heuristic optimization, but it's just given in this slide is not as important as heuristics optimization process. You just know what are the some operations that can be used in heuristic optimization. We can do cascade of sigma. Okay, so as we study different properties in mathematics, we need to know this type of properties, but basically it is not used in our heuristic optimization process, but study this. Okay. So first is cascading of sigma. Sure, you know that sigma of C1 and sigma C2 and etc. can be written as sigma C1, then sigma C2, sigma Cn. So the select operation can be done like this. So here you can see you are given a relation R and you have only a one select operation and you have many conditions C1, C2 up to Cn and all are combined with AND operation. It can be break up into different select operation and each one having single condition. Then next is commutative operation. Here select C1, select C2 of R can be written as select C2 and select C1. Both are same. We can move one into the another position. Then cascade of project operation. So here you can see you require from the relation R you require a list n, then you require list n minus 1 and at last you require list 2 and last you require list 1. So from the relation firstly you cut only single or you taken 10 attributes from in the list n. You are saying you require 10 attributes of R, then you are saying 9 attributes of R. So the 9 attributes are in this 10 10 attribute and at last you are saying you require only L name. So it can be written as directly pi list R because you finally you get only the attributes of list 1. Then commuting sigma and pi. So we can interchange the sigma and pi. So if selection condition C involves only those attributes A1 and AN. So here we can see we are doing a project outside the select. So firstly we are doing a select operation and contain a condition C. So it can be written as firstly you can do the project then the condition, but there is a constraint is that the C contain this condition contain only the attributes of A1 AN. Okay, there may be chance that R contain AN plus 1 AN plus 2 etc. some more attribute and that must not be in C. Then only we can interchange pi and sigma. Next is commutative join and then cross. So that is R join S is equal to S join R, both are same. R cross S is equal to S cross R, both are same. Then commutating sigma with join. So if all attributes in the selection condition C involves only the attributes of one of the relation. So here you can see firstly you join then you done the select. Okay, so it contain a condition C. And here you can see firstly you done the sigma on R and then you done the S. So this can be done only if the condition C contain the join attributes after or the attributes after joining R and S. Then only you can write a sigma of R then join S. So the same way here also commuting project with join. So you can do project and you want a list of elements after joining R and S, and here you are doing firstly you have to do R project on R then project on S. The result should be join. This can be done only if the condition contain the attributes from the list L. There may be a chance that R contain other attributes than A1 up to AN. Also S contain few more attributes than B1 to Bn. So only the join conditions are using the attributes A1 and AN, A1 up to AN, B1 up to Bn, then only you can do this operation. So next is commutating of set operation. The set operation union and intersection are commutative, but you know that difference is not commutative. The associative of project, cross, union and intersection, these four operations are individually associative. That is you can write R project S project R join S join T. Here theta indicates one of this operation. Okay, so R join S join T can be written as R join S join T, or if theta is taken as cross, R cross S cross T can be is equal to R cross S cross T. Okay, so here theta just used as an arbitrary value of project cross union and sigma. It's just indicating this attribute, sorry, this operations. So theta is not our operation. So commutating sigma with set operation. So here we can also commutative sigma operation with union cross, sorry, intersection and difference. So select R union S is equal to select R union select C. So first you have to do select operation on S, then you have to do select operation on R, and the result can be union, which will equal to R union S, then doing the select operation. The same way you can put intersection on the place of this theta, R intersection S, then select of R intersection select of S, both are equivalent. Next, pi operation or the project operation commutative with union, that is project R union S is equivalent to project of R union project of S, but it is not on others, it's only on the union. So converting sigma cross and sequence into join. So we already studied we can convert a sigma and cross operation as the join operation. Already we saw in the heuristic table. So we applied this rule in heuristic optimization. So this way we can apply different rules. If there is a union and projection, you can do like this. If we want to divide the operation R union S and it is accompanied by a project, then you can do it by project of R then union project of S. These all rules can be used in heuristic optimization, but for the heuristic question we most of the case you need to apply only the given 5 steps. Okay, so that's the end of this module, and you are given with a question to do heuristic optimization. So before coming for the class you have to do this question. So we can also do or check the answer in the next class.